What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we are on the test server here, and in this video here, we will be playtesting the brand new Fragment Fusion champion that will be coming this week, Masahiro the Bell Monk, a brand new Shadowkin, a very important Shadowkin champion. And he is going to be the first team revive Shadowkin. Masahiro the Bell Monk here. Very, very cool looking champion. Has a great kit. And if you guys didn't know, let's jump into his kit here real quick. Good base stats overall. Just looking at the base stats, really, really nice to see. Really strong HP, really decent speed, and good defense to go along with all that. A little bit of resistance and accuracy as well. If you guys don't know the kit, we'll jump into the kit here real quick. You got an A1 AoE attack. Very, very nice. It's got a 50% chance, books up to 75% chance of landing decreased crit rate. Against most of the PvE content in the game, minus 30% crit rate's going to basically remove all the crit rate that they have, so you're not going to get any surprise crits from any of the PvE champions. In PvP and Arena, this could be useful as well. Basically gives you a chance to survive some of those big nuker hits. It's also an AoE, which is amazing. The A2 here, another 3-turn cooldown ability, Redemptive Fervor. Attacks one enemy before attacking, has a 100% chance when fully booked of transferring all debuffs from all allies, not just from himself, to the target. Heals all allies by 25% of this champion's max HP and places a strengthen on all allies. Now, there's a lot of good stuff going on in this ability. Basically, it's a team cleanse, but it's better than a cleanse because it removes those debuffs and it moves them to an enemy target. Now, it doesn't matter if you weak hit or anything like that. You're still going to remove the debuffs from your team. The weak hit's just going to potentially cause the transferring of the debuffs to not happen. The heal is also quite large, 25% of this champion's max HP. He has very, very strong base HP, 25.5k base HP. So 25% of his max HP is going to be very nice. And it provides a strengthen as well, all on a 3-turn cooldown. It's a very, very strong 3-turn team cleanse. And then he has a team revive here on a 4-turn cooldown. Very standard stuff. It is a bit AoE attack, which is a little bit different, but you get the standard 50% HP, 50% turn meter. The good thing about this skill, you can use it even if nobody is dead. So that gives you a little bit of flexibility. It gives you a 100% chance when fully booked of landing stuns on everybody. That's absolutely amazing. And a block buffs. If it's against bosses, you get decreased speed instead of the stun, and then you still get the block buffs. It's crazy. This is a crazy ability. And the fact that you can use it without having any dead allies just makes it so much more versatile and flexible for you. It is on a 4-turn cooldown, so it's not the best ability to use as your dedicated decreased speed champion or dedicated block buff champion, for example. But, you know, with the right gear set, with the right stats, you could probably get away with it. You guys can check that out in the playtest here, of course. Going over his passive here, also very, very nice passive. All allies receive 1% less damage for each turn taken by enemies and allies while they remain alive. So every turn that happens after 15 turns, you're going to get 15% damage mitigation, which is really nice. The damage mitigation will reset when they die or between rounds. So for example, in Arena, that's 1 round. In, against wave content, there's multiple rounds. Also, all allies revived by this champion are immune to this hard CC, stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, fear, true fear, petrification until the start of their turn. So this is going to give them a chance to, take their turn. They do come back with 50% turn meter. Now, other revives have certain way of guaranteeing or increasing the likelihood that your revived champions get a chance to act. For example, placing block damage. For example, placing veil on them. In this case, Masahiro's kind of team protection is this immunity to CC, which is very nice, but it doesn't guarantee that they actually take a turn because they can still die to damage. They just can't be controlled. But still a really nice passive to go along with this A3. And then lastly, his aura here, increase force, ally speed in all battles by 25%. It's a good speed boost, but only for force allies. Now this doesn't say faction specific, so it can be any force ally. So you can pair him with, cross class or cross faction champions, which is really good. There's a lot of really good force champions out in the meta and in the overall scene right now. But there's also very good force champions in the Shadowkin. So if you wanted to build like a siege specific team around him, that could also work out as well. But yeah, overall his kit looks really good. Looks really good. We'll play test him in some content. I think his kit is very versatile. You can build him in a couple different ways. We'll do a couple play tests in different areas and see how well he performs. So let's jump right into that. All right, guys. So first things first, my Masahiro, I want to check his damage just in case he has some surprise damage out there. It's very unlikely, but you never know. Sometimes these support champions, they can hit pretty well. I put my Empress gear on him so he can hit pretty good. He has no Star Blessing, no relics, or anything like that. And these are the base stats on him with the lethal set. He's got 300 crit damage, enough accuracy for dungeon 25, or sorry, dungeon 10s, hard 10s. He's got good base HP or good HP, mainly because his base HP is so high, you can scale it up pretty easily. Good speed here as well. Like I said, no relics, no blessings, and here are nuking masteries for him. We're gonna run him in some content here and just see how hard he hits. Just to see how hard he hits. So let's go into the dragon. We're just gonna run by himself with a couple food champs and see how well he performs. So he starts off with his A3, so nobody's getting revived, but he still lands the block buff, decrease, and then stuns, and then that's his A1, decrease crit rate. So he uses his A1 a couple times, and then he's back in with the A3, and that's his heal. His heal is pretty big, 28k on this Masahiro, because he has pretty fat base HP or fat HP on this build. His A1's popping off. Yep, they're stunned. Slowly killing them. He's not dealing crazy damage. Like you guys can see, you know, his gear, 300 crit damage with the lethal set. You know, pretty decent stats. But yeah, he's not really just one-shotting these waves with crazy damage. So he's not a big damage hitter. But he's going through these waves mainly because he can stun them all and he can slowly chip them away. So I mean, we're gonna get through these waves. We'll check back in at the boss, see how well he performs. He does have an A2 that transferred debuffs, so it is kind of interesting. Maybe he does something, but he has no healing in his kit other than his A2. So let's see how well he does after this wave. And yeah, we'll talk about it on the boss. All right, just about at the boss here. About 2 minutes, 2 minutes and a bit to get to the boss. Pretty strong, pretty strong. He hasn't really taken any kind of serious damage. And if he has, he's been able to heal up just off of his A2. You see his revive there. Really cool. Everybody's back. No real issues. Let's get to the boss here. Let's see what happens. Decreased crit rate on the boss. We got the revive going off and then dead. See, if he had his A2 ready, he would have been able to heal himself and then transfer all the debuffs to the boss. But because he doesn't have any more healing besides his A2, he's probably going to end up dying. He's not immune to the stun or anything like that, so the stun's gonna chip away at his health as well. Gonna get the dragon in on an extra attack. So he's not in the build to beat the dragon, but I'm pretty sure you could probably run some kind of build to kill the dragon. Maybe like a healing set, but you definitely would lack damage against the waves, so it's going to take you a really, really long time. And of course, you could have more stats on him with like a proper blessing. Maybe Brimstone would help against the waves. But his kit, cycling through the stuns, cycling through the healing, cycling through the cleansing, like he can definitely take care of himself in wave content, which means he can really take care of your team. So really strong champion just for like wave control and stuff like that. Now, this wouldn't be the build that I would put him in. Mainly, like I said, he doesn't hit very hard, even with the lethal set. So he's strictly a support champion for me from this testing. He's not going to be an arena nuker or anything like that, or even like a support, you know, with nuking abilities. Not going to be anything like that. So let's fit him out in some support-based gear builds, and we'll talk about that a little bit. All right, so I swapped his gear around here, and this is the kind of build that I would probably put Masahiro in for just general use. I put him in a curse set. This allows him to land the Hex debuff, which is going to be amazing, especially with all his AoE attacks. He's got the A1 AoE, he's got the A3 AoE as well. This is going to allow him to put the Hex debuff on enemies, which increases the amount of damage that you deal to them. Now, I also put a 2-piece impulse set on him. This gives him a little bit of speed, and it gives a chance to reduce a random skills cooldown by 1 turn. Both his A2 and A3 are very good value in a lot of different areas, so having the chance to refresh the cooldown on them by 1 turn is going to be really good. I did put also a refresh accessory on him. Again, you get the small chance at the cooldown prevention. And then I did put him in a feral 2-piece just to get some additional accuracy on him. So for Masahiro, you just want good HP. You want him with good speed so he can cycle through his abilities. And you want him with accuracy so that he can do his job, land his debuffs. You want him, like I said, good defensive stats, good HP so he gets a good heal off so he can survive. and good speed, so he can cycle through his abilities. In terms of relics, what you want to do with relics, anything that gives them stats would be good. Speed, HP, accuracy would be fine. Something like the wand would protect him from getting crowd controlled. Something like the golden elixir would just give him some additional healing, make him really hard to kill. What else? Aspect of Suroth would work. Hand of Uncreation gives him accuracy and resistance, prevents stuff from getting stripped off of him. You could even go with the Raven. The Perch Shadow could be very useful. Again, getting the cooldown reductions on your skills. A2 or A3 can be very strong. But yeah, there's lots of different ones that can work for him for the blessings. Any kind of non-damage relic would work on him, just because he's not a damage dealer, you don't want to focus too much on damage. As for the blessing for him, because he has so many AoEs, something like cruelty would be pretty good. Just like generally, you can have the A1 land all the cruelty stacks really well. Obviously, something like brimstone would be good too, just for against bosses if you're using him for PvE content. Otherwise, you could run him if you're planning to use him for like PvP. The banner could be something that can work for both PvP and PvE. Lightning Cage, also something else if you plan to run him in arena. With if you're using him with Stone Skin, for example, this one is going to be the top pick for a lot of those kind of builds. Life Harvest, also another popular pick for PvP content. And I think that's about it. But honestly, I wouldn't really frame him to be a PvP champion, but he can definitely be useful in that situation, especially if you're low on kind of like support champions. But I probably wouldn't focus him there, mainly because he doesn't really have much protection to get locked out. He doesn't have protection to stay alive. He does have a cleanse, which is really good, and he does have a team revive. But like I said, for the reasons I just stated, he's not a premium kind of support reviver, but he can still do okay if you're just progressing through the game. As for the masteries, I did go down to War Master here just to help for boss content or PvE content. You can definitely go for just pure support. You can go defense support, that can be very useful. Obviously take retribution and deterrence could be very useful because his A1 is kind of nice. I did end up taking lasting gifts. You're not getting crazy value from this. You're getting the extra turn potential on his strengthen buff. Master Hexer is pretty good. He does land a couple debuffs, so you can get some extra turns on those debuffs, which is nice. Life Drinker with the War Master gives you a chance to heal up just a little bit. And then Cycle of Magic, extra A2s and A3s, and then extra stats from Lore Steel. It's pretty self-explanatory stuff. Now that's Masahiro in a curse set. So the other set that I think would work really well on Masahiro is actually a Provoke set. So a Provoke set would be a very similar build out as a Hex set. You can kind of see here my Provoke set gear a little bit better. Similar accuracy to handle basically top difficulty Hydra, about 300 speed, which is about where you want for your support champions at that difficulty, and 100k HP, which is more, I guess I have better Provoke gear, but pretty much the same stuff. Provoke could also work really well because he does have an A1. Provokers or good provokers, not the easiest to find, similar to cursed or hex champions. So either one, whichever fills the need that you are missing on your Hydra teams, go for that gear set. I think both of them will work very well on Masahiro because he has a couple AoEs, especially the A1 with the AoE. In this case, I think the more popular set would probably be the Hex set. So we're going to run that in some Hydra content and see how well he performs. All right, guys, so this is the team I put together here with Masahiro. It's not the perfect team, but I thought it would be interesting to showcase some of his abilities here. So I didn't leave him as the only block buff champion. So we have Shadowkin here to cover the block buff as well as with him. But we don't have a clear way to deal with the Head of Torment, so the fears and stuff like that. But we're going to lean into Masahiro's A2 to get rid of those fears if possible. We do have a soft cleanse here with Mikage to get rid of those fears. The other thing is I did turn him or move him back into the Provoke set because we have no Provoke champion on this team. And I think it's going to be really important for him to get his Provokes off. So let's see if he can do that job. After that, yeah, he's going to be our decreased speed champion. He's going to be our main reviver, of course. Going to bring a bit of healing, bit of cleansing, and he's going to be our main provoker. So let's see how well he performs in this team. Let's go. He's going to synergize pretty well with Mikage also because he does have that AoE A1 to land the provokes. Let's see where this is going to go with the ally attack. Let's go right into the Head of Decay. Let's see, we get the provokes off. Nope, no provokes. Let's go with the... Yep, let's go with the increased defense, and we will go with the big smack here from Marius. There we go. And we are partially feared, so that is a little bit annoying. Let's see if we can transfer the fears off with the A2, cleanse it off some of our champions, and we do. There we go. Working as intended, guys. Working as intended. And we got the block buffs. Let's get the block buffs going. So we will do that. Turn meter boost, block buff. All right, we got him in a relentless set, shy. So we got the extra turn here. Let's see. We could do that. Let's extend some of our buffs. And Crowcat's going to come in here with the big AoE attack. Marius A1. And okay, so let's try the A1 again. This one's decreased speed block buff. We could try decreased speed block buff. But we really want to just land the provoke. Let's try to provoke first. It's the lower risk ability. Let's see if we can land the provoke. Nope, we can't land the provoke, unfortunately. And then the cleanse happens. A little bit annoying. There's the A1. So he ally attacks with Lady Mikage because he is a Shadowkin. Okay, so we didn't land to provoke, so of course that's a little bit of a limitation there. Let's get rid of these fears, very annoying fears. So we pop the fears off. And there we go, decreased speed block buff from his A3, very nice. Ally attack going in again. Still no provoke going off. The provoke set is not consistent, that's for sure. It's not consistent enough. Okay, plus defense, Marius. There you go, big damage, decreased defense with the weakened turn meter boost, and buff extension. And here comes the A1, pops everything off. Lots of damage coming in. All right, so now we got the debuff transfer, heal, strengthen. We don't need that yet. Let's just do the A1, decrease crit rate, lands on everybody. No more crazy hits coming in for us. Let's go decrease defense, get an attack in. Nope. There we go, one attack. Mikage attacks and then he attacks. That's great. And then A1 again. There we go. And let's go big AoE attack from Crowcat. And ally attack. Sure, let's attack the head of Wrath here. Let's get him real angry. All right, let's get him real angry. Let's see what we get. All right, his big hit pretty much didn't do anything to us. That's really nice, right? A little bit of that has to do with the decreased crit rate. No big slams from him. All right, looks like the poison cloud did land there a little bit bad. Let's see if Crowcat can one-shot him. Almost. There we go. Lots of damage coming in. This team's actually pretty decent. All right, so decreased speed with the block buffs there. Decreased speed is really nice against the bosses. Slows them down so you get more damage in. And let's do that. Got feared. Here comes the fears. The fears are going to be a little bit on the annoying side. Decreased defense. Can we land it? Nope. No landing it. All right, let's transfer debuffs. Can we do it? Yes. There we go. Transfer debuffs. Effectively a cleanse, so works great. He was feared, so that's going to be the drawback. It is a 50% chance that it's going to fail, but it does give you a little bit of an opportunity to get rid of the fears. All right, there we go. We got rid of that. And A1, there we go. Decreased defense. And Marius comes in. We're on turn 12. Turn 12, 71 million. So that's quite a bit. Good amount. Let's go with the A1 provoke. Can we land the provoke? There we go. We finally got the provoke. Not the best odds, but still landing it, right? Okay, turn meter boost, block buffs. And we got the A3 back, so decreased speed with the block buffs. Just in time because the head of mischief was going to transfer all those buffs to everybody. And that's it. So anyways, just a quick little showcase here. Not too bad. He performed pretty decently. Just keeping the team alive. Also, he's going to be relatively, auto friendly because he is a reviver. So in my opinion, a really, really strong support champion for any kind of team, um, you know, team content here, especially like Hydra, for example. Let's take him into some other content and see how well he performs. All right, so everyone's probably going to be interested to see how well he performs in Faction Wars. Shadowkin has some really, really good champions, but they do lack a little bit of the survivability. Now, the best thing about Masahiro is that he does bring the revive, which of course is insane, and he's very unique in that sense. But he also brings decreased crit rate, which is really good at just softening up the amount of damage that you take. And he also brings a AoE stun, which is going to be really solid. So previously, really only Mikage can really help you out in terms of controlling the waves to that extent. Yuki Masa was pretty decent at that with the block actives. He had a little bit of freezing as well. But, an AoE stun is going to be pretty nice, right? In terms of just fully shutting down the waves. So let's see how well he performs. We're on level 21 on hard mode. We have a pretty good team, but even this team is not going to be full auto. In this case, we're going to try to kill the Ancora. The Ancora is the biggest threat on the first wave. We still have the provoke set on. We managed to knock out the first wave, which is kind of nice. Let's go for the stuns here. And there we go. Everybody's stunned. Super nice. Very nice, guys. Very nice. We're going to kill the Narcies, and I think everybody's going to go down. Perfect. This wave can be really tricky as well. We are able to shake that off. We're going to transform here and use the stun from Lady Mikage. So now we have 2 stunners, which is very nice. First stun ability, very good, very good. You notice that our Masahiro is in the leader spot, and we did have 2 Force Affinity champions on the team, which is Mikage and Harima, so they're going to get the 25% boost, which is super nice. Now you kind of see here we got a bunch of debuffs on our team. So let's use the A2, transfer a bunch of debuffs away. Who do you want them on? Let's put them on the Faction Unity champion. I forgot this guy's name, but let's put him on him. Big heal, cleanses everybody, and then boom, gives him the lockout, gives him the fear, gives him the decreased attack, and we land the provoke as well. Super nice. And it's a cleanse, and we get a strengthen as well. So very nice ability there. Let's clean this guy up. This guy's a little bit of a mess. He's definitely very strong. I have no idea really what his kit, fully does. He does a bunch of stuff. I know that, but all right, we got the decreased crit rate. Let's see if we can kill him one hit. Nope. I think that's something with his kit. It's just crazy like that. Let's go to A1. Still not there. All right, let's see how well he performs at the boss. Still got the provokes. Yeah, we still got the provokes up. Leaps. We kill her. Yes, there we go. Should be it. There we go. All right, let's go to the boss. So against the boss here, the big thing about this boss, having a cleanse and a heal is going to be really, really strong. And of course, the revive is going to be really strong as well. For this boss, you want to get rid of that reflect buff that he puts on himself. So I kind of like, obviously, I want to have the base form back on Lady Mikage. Let's do the ally attack and just get damage through while we can. The HP burns here. All right, so he's going to put the reflect damage. This is a big one. So reflect damage definitely can kill off our guys. Just going to go to A1. We got the stone skin up. Ally protection. And we're going to try to take that off. At least reduce it a little bit. Stun's happening. We're getting hit. A1. Feared. Provoked. All sorts of nasty stuff happening right now. A1. People are dying. All right, let's go. People are dying. Lots of people are dying. And don't want to use the A1. Everybody's dying. Okay, now we got the revive. This is the maximum value for this guy, right? We got the revive. Let's get it going here. Boom. There it is. Decreased speed, block buffs. And we get the We get the Silken Snare back, so it's going to reduce the duration of the reflect damage. That's a big killer here. And then Ally Protection, protect everybody. And let's go. All right, stunned again. Obviously, a little bit of resistance would be helpful. And take off that reflect damage and then try to send everybody in with the ally attack. Not working the best here. A little bit of healing would be probably pretty nice, but... And we got the big heal and the debuff transfer. Let's do it, guys. There it is. Boom. Cleansed off everybody. There we go. Got the job done. We could have waited, obviously, and wait for the revive, but there we go. We got the job done. In a couple situations there, Masahiro is pretty massive, right? Oh, Masahiro, massive. But yeah, the cleanse, the healing, it's obviously very, very strong. And obviously the revive, you can get that in at the right time. You're going to look at that 3 stars. Now, for me, I've already cleared the 3 stars on him, so it's not a big deal for me to get the 3 stars here. But he's going to at least improve the consistency for the Stage 21 team so that I don't have to run it multiple times. Also, I was still running the provoke set on him through that faction wars. If you guys were really serious about running the faction wars, trying to clear it in the 3-star, I would definitely recommend something like a bolster set or something like a regen set, so you can build in some healing on himself. And if you want to use a relic that's going to be really strong in that kind of content to help you clear that stage, run the golden elixir. Okay, run the golden elixir just to give him some healing, so he's always topped up, and he will come back in with the revive. And then the best thing about it is that your champions come back and they're immune to CC, so they can't get that stupid debuffs from the boss, and then they can take their turn, which is really huge. Anyways, that's going to be it for this showcase on Masahiro the Bell. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it was informative for you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about him. Personally speaking, I think he is an amazing champion. I think his kit works really well together. And of course, he's very unique to the Shadowkin faction, being its only team reviver. And he's actually a really good reviver as well. His kit in general is awesome, has a lot of good elements to it. It works well together, and he has great base stats to go along with all of that. So he's, to me, a total package for a fusion champion. He's going to be helpful for a lot of people progressing through the game. He might not be the best, champion for like an end game player, because you really only find use for him in progression areas, like working through Hydra, like working through faction wars. But I think for the mid tier or even late tier player, this guy's going to be really, really helpful for a lot of content. With that all being said, I think he is going to be still very strong for end game players, because you can still utilize him in some end game areas, like for example Cintranos. HP based champions, they run into some pretty tough stages in Cintranos, so he might be useful there as well. And for some siege teams, so for some Shadowkin siege teams or some HP based siege teams, perhaps he could be very useful there as well, for people's specific condition teams. I think his kit is good enough to help you guys out there if you guys have limited options. All right guys, that's going to be it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this showcase. If you guys have any cool ideas for Masahiro, let me know in the comments below. Would appreciate that. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys leave a like. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for some future content. Appreciate you guys watching until the end. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.